All right, we're moving right along. This is the Paper Princess, and we're now on page 2 of our Alice Through the Looking Glass album. All right, so I have my pocket page up here. I've got my 2 in the left-hand corner, and I'm going to give you the 5 measurements you'll need. We have 5 flaps, actually 4 flaps and a pocket to cut. So the A piece will be 11 3/8, so that's 2 lines before 11 1/2 by 7 1/2. B is 11 3/8 by 5 1/2. C is 10 1/8, so that's 2 lines more than 10 by 5 1/2. D is 5 7/8, 2 lines before 6 by 5 1/2. And E is 7 3/4 by 5 1/2. So just write that down and cut those pieces, and then you can pause and then come back. We are going to score them now. Okay, so I wrote in pencil in which one is A, B, C. So we're going to take the A flap, and I'm going to have my smaller side, the 7 1/2 inch side, facing the top, and I'm going to score 1/2 inch. This is the flat side facing up. It usually is the flat side facing up. Every once in a while I do the other way, but most of the time the flat side is facing up. Okay, B. I'm going to have my 5 1/2 inch side facing the top. Sometimes I write on my cut list facing the top, and sometimes I just write up, and that depends if I'm running out of letters. Or space. You're only allowed a certain amount of letters, so I really came right to the limit. So C is a pocket. So we're going to start with our open side facing the top, the biggest side. Actually, the rest of the 3 are pockets. So this is the big pocket in the middle. Okay, so D, we're going to start with the 5 7/8 inch side at the top. Okay, E, the 7 3/4 side is facing the top. Okay. And now we're going to tape everything. I'm taping on my linen side or the bumpy side. B flap. And the A flap. And then after this, we're going to press everything down. I'm just going to fold over the A and B, but not the pockets. I'm going to set these, well, I'll fold this over and set that aside. And then we can work on our pockets. Okay, so the pockets we're going to do like we did before. We cut our little Pac-Man mouth. So right up to the intersection and turn out. And now we can fold these. Okay, so now let's bring out page 2. I've got my open ends to the left and right. My 2 is up here in the left-hand corner, and let's start placing these down. So the A flap, let me see real quick. The A flap is our left-hand flap. So we're going to be putting it over here. And I just want to check real quick. Yeah, I am going to corner round A and B with just the small 4mm size. Okay, so I'm going to take off this backing here, and flap A is going to go on the left. So I want a little bit of space to my left and right, about 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to guide it right to the edge here of this pocket page. Let's see, sometimes the light gives me a shadow. I want to make sure I see it right. Okay. Turn it around. I'm going to put B over on the right hand side. Actually, what I can do with this is put a weight down there. This is going to tuck under, but for now, I'm trying to line this flap up with A. Okay. I'll guide it right to the edge here. And now let's put the pocket, the C pocket, the bigger of the pockets. I'm going to put right in the middle here. Okay. I'm leaving my backings on the side so I can put my design paper down. All right. Now, again, I want to be on the inside of these the score lines, which right here I am awfully close. That's why it's good to dry fit before you press it down. I may have to take a smidge off of here. Okay, so I will correct. Too late now for the purpose of this video, but I will correct it to 10 inches. I'm gonna put, yours might fit, but for some reason, I mean, it fit the first time I made this album, but for right now, I'm just right on the line here. So I want to fold this over just a little bit. So sometimes it's good that this happens on video, because then you can see. You can pretty much correct any problem because this is just paper and you can make whatever changes you need to. So I'm just going to scooch this in just a little bit and score this right here. All right. Take off that backing. Let's try that again. This is not laying down because I ripped up the paper. I'm going to put a little piece of tape right over here just so that lays down. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I like that better. I will change the measurement to 10 inches. But there we go. I'm going to guide it right to the end. I have a little bit of space before that score line and a little bit of space before this score line. All right. Now for our next pockets, I'm going to just look at these first. The bigger one goes on your A flap. And I just want to, before I take off anything, yes, that comes within, so that fits. Okay, I'm going to guide it right to the edge here. And I have a little bit of space right there. The same height as this pocket, so it looks good. Let's just make sure this one fits. Yep. Okay. A little bit of space here. It's right up to the edge right there. Okay. And this all folds over. Looks good. Okay. Now for magnets. so these two flaps, I'm gonna have 2 magnets here and 2 magnets on the bigger flap. Tape. Whoops, I lost a magnet. Oh, here it is. Hold on. That said positive. Every once in a while they mislabel these, so let's see. Yeah, that positive is mislabeled. It's a negative, so let me try to find another positive then. Yeah, that happens sometimes. All right, now this bigger flap, the magnets are going to land on the smaller flap. So I start with the smaller, you start with the side that's going to be tucked in, which is our smaller side. I love that sound. Okay, so then we're going to put this over here. Okay, so there's going to be a pull-out in the center of this pocket page, and I usually just do that at the end. But your measurement for that is on the master cut list. I will tell you that in a second. And then we are done with our first pocket page. Voila. All right. I did not show you the finished papers for that first page, so I will show you that. Okay, so the pocket pages, there's going to be 3 of them. I mean, the inserts. There's going to be 3 of them. They're pullouts. It's under pocket page pullouts, right in that master list and on the first video. And they are 11 1/4 by 9 1/8, and it fits right into here. I don't usually put those in until after you've glued this onto your hinge. So save that for the end. Let me show you the decorations for page 1 and page 2. Okay. So page 1, and the inside cover you can do at the end also. But page 1, I have the Alice paper with her in the looking glass house. And I put some glossy accents on this mirror to make it shiny. If you do that, put it on the paper, let it dry for several hours before you glue it onto here. And the way I glue these papers on, I just want a little rim of black around. And so I don't measure it exactly. I just do take my pencil. Let's see. There's my pencil. I'll just show you real quick. Don't have my pencil. But basically, if you had a piece of paper, you just hold it up to here. You put it where you want it and put a pencil line. So say this is a whole piece and I want to cut it right here. I just put my pencil line just a little 1/16 of an inch in, and same, that's how I put it on here. So I probably made this cut first because I wanted the legs of the chair to be on, and I wanted the Alice. So I either cut here first, if you're doing your vertical cut first, and cut across the bottom, and then line this up, if that makes sense, hopefully. So on the inside, this is from the original Alice in Wonderland Stamperia pack. It's the rabbit with his clock. This is also from that same collection. I have the tea party in here. And I wanted to make sure I get the whole tea party. So again, you put your paper down and you put your pencil marks where you want it to be. You don't want her cut off or anything. So did that. This is a solid piece from the Craft Consortium Grunge. This came from one of these. It's probably on this paper, and it was left over, so I stuck it there with the little brad, but it's called We're All Mad Here. I backed it with this polka dot paper that's also a leftover piece. So you can do all those leftover embellishment pieces at the end. On the inside, I have red here on the flap and on above the pocket. Right here, I did put a magnet down, so you want to put that down first so that these stay in place. I fussy cut this Happy End Birthday. You don't see it in the frame here. Happy End Birthday to you right there. And these Photomats just make at the end. These are leftover pieces. This is from the 8x8, and then I put a little strip at the bottom of a leftover piece. So do those at the end. I have the teacups because this is a tea party page. And it goes like that and like that. The pull out for this, which you'll do at the end, is the teacups. Okay, so page 2, since that's what we just finished. Okay. This is our Cheshire Cat paper. So I cut this first. And I'm pretty much, I didn't want to cut off Alice, so I put my pencil mark right a little bit. I gave her like 1/8 of an inch from her dress and cut that first, and then you'll have your piece that you need to cut for here. And this is the other side of this same paper. Okay, the back on the bottom here is, this is on from the original Alice in Wonderland pack. And I cut this first. So I didn't want to cut off the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, so I made sure I put my pencil mark right there so I get this saying right there. And then this is left over, and the other side of that. On the pockets on the inside, again, do this at the end. I have a magnet here. This is from the 8x8 collection, and the same paper here. Have Photomats. You'll get 4 of these in each of your 12 by 12 packs of Through the Looking Glass. And the Drink Me tea, I made a little booklet out of that. To show you real quick how to make the booklet. Let's see. Basically, you take your ephemera card, you put it on the inside right here, and you draw a little pencil mark, and that's where you score. So you make your cut here, you score there, and you take your card again, put it on this side, draw a pencil mark where you're going to cut right there. And that's it, easy peasy. You have a little booklet. Here I just made a photo mat. This was a leftover blue piece. This is from the Through the Looking Glass. You get a whole sheet of all these ephemera pieces. I just put a strip in the back. What I might do here is put a plain paper, like either a cream color or white. And what you can do, which is what I'm probably gonna do, is I have this Stamperia stencil, and it's called I don't know if the name of it is Checkmate, but it says Checkmate right in the corner. It's from this Alice in Wonderland collection. It's got all the chess pieces. And if I had a white paper here, I could just stencil one of these pieces. So that's what I'm going to do at the end. But for now, I put a little strip there. So that looks good. Same over here. I have a little strip. I have one of these cutouts. You'll get 4 of these squares. And I'm going to do the same thing and put a white paper and use my stencil. Okay, so that is page 2. For the pullout, it was just a dark green from the Craft Consortium Grunge. And next video, we are on to page 3. Thanks for watching.